Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our monthly virtual workshop that Team True Blue puts on. I don't quite know where you are tuning in from. Maybe you're just waking up if you're out on the West Coast, or maybe even further out towards Australia. Maybe it's middle of the night, I don't know, or our East Coasters, maybe it's lunch, but nevertheless, we're excited that you guys have joined us today. And a very special welcome to our guests that are here. Proud of you guys for taking the time to be a part of this workshop today. You know, we are very excited about what we do as an organization and a team and what we have to offer and share with the people that we know or people that we've come in contact with. We really believe that it's exciting news. It's news that people that once you understand what we have, maybe you get almost as excited as we are about the opportunity to share it yourself. And so let's jump right into this first portion of this workshop today. We'll be talking about our company LifeVantage and the products that it offers, specifically our Nerf2 product, Protandim, so that we're not strangers for it too much longer. Of course, I don't get to talk to you one-on-one just yet, maybe in the future. My name is Brandon Cunningham, and I live in Florida. I've been married for over 26 years now, 2 kids, and I was introduced to LifeVantage a little more than 9 years ago. Our background is in the real estate profession, as an investor and in the automotive industry as a business owner. And we were introduced to LifeVantage by a relative of ours from Texas at a time in our life where, looking back on it, I never in a million years would think that I would be right here with you today. But the timing was perfect for us. And that's really what we've come to find after doing this for a number of years. It's about timing. Whether you as a guest are watching this, whether you choose to join us or not, we have found it's less about what I'm about to share or what we're about to say, and more what's going on in your life. If your health is important to you, then you're probably going to be more enticed to join us if health is important to you. If you're in a time in your life where you're realizing you're not where you thought you would be at this point in your life financially, or you're looking for more, then you're probably going to be more apt to be interested in what we have to share. That's certainly where I was at when we were introduced to this. My health was good. I don't take any prescription drugs. I'm 47 years old and I had to think about it for a second. And relatively healthy. Well, more than relatively. I'm extremely healthy. I get my blood work done and checked on a regular basis. But I do that because there has been trends in my family where people have had to deal with some very difficult diseases, namely cancer. My grandfather died in his early to mid 50s from cancer. It's run in our family. I've had a small bout with cancer, with skin cancer, little freckle on my face that turned out to be the real deal. It was cancer. It had to come out, 37 stitches in my face. I wake up from, general anesthesia from at a hospital where the procedure was done. My wife is crying. I'm like, what in the world's going on? Get me a mirror. And it was the reality that was a real surgery. And so when I was introduced to LifeVantage and its product Protandim, I was at a point in my life where I realized that I wasn't 20 years old anymore. So if those of you that are out there that are, not feeling like you felt when you were 16 or 20, then you'll be very interested in what we have to share. And for some of you that are very, very in tune that things are not going in the direction you want health-wise, then you'll be excited to hear this information. And for some of you maybe that are young and like, hey, I'm in perfect health, I'm not worried about aging. Well, let me tell you, Preparing sooner than later is a good thing for what is the inevitable, the aging process. And young folks today have a lot ahead of them. And to have a competitive edge like Protandim gives you, and I'm not talking just sports, I'm talking mentally and physically, because our younger generation is under a different type of stress and workload that any of us ever experienced. And you're going to be interested in hearing this as well. From a business standpoint, I told you we were looking, but it wasn't for lack of money. You know, most people somehow equate money and happiness together. And man, there couldn't be anything further from the truth than that. I know some people that are dead broke, and they're happy, right? And I know a lot of people that are wealthy beyond imagination and they're not happy. And so this isn't about really money, this conversation today. It's more about, are you happy with where you're at in your life? Are you happy with how much you're working, the amount of time? Or you feel like you're always working and you don't get to do what you really want to do enough? See, that's a problem, no matter how much money you're making. You know, Lynette and I were stuck. My wife's name is Lynette. It's not like my alter ego. And she may join us here on this training here that we're going to do on the backside of this opportunity presentation. But I wasn't getting to be with my wife and my kids enough. All I was doing was working, right? Maybe that sounds familiar to some of you, where we weren't getting to do some of the things that we wanted to do. Now, maybe you are kind of getting to do some things you want to do, but you're not quite where you want to be financially at this point in your life. And that's a very sobering question. I know it's early and, you know, we maybe not want to think too deep about life and be philosophical here this morning on this presentation, but think about where you are in your life and then think, you know, go 10 years back and are you where you thought you would be now? Or did you think you'd be further along? Did you think you'd be done with your schooling and already working in the perfect job that you went to school for? That's the case for a lot of people. And the sad reality is they're not using their education for what they intended. And for others, maybe you were crushing it financially at one time, but investments didn't go the way you wanted. Or maybe there was some miscalculations on investments and you're just not set financially, meaning you can see the horizon, right? Like there's a lot of money to still be made. And maybe you're not feeling like the effort that you just have it in you anymore. Like you need to kind of compress time. That's where I was. I was in my late 30s when I was introduced to this. And I needed to compress time, meaning I needed to catch up. I was nowhere near the proverbial retirement. And listen, retirement for me is not like sitting in a rocking chair. I'm never going to be that person. But retirement to me meant that I had choices of how I was going to spend my time Monday through Friday, not just working. That's retirement to me, where I had enough money financially coming in every month, cushion, that I could live the way I wanted to live, not the way I had to live just to go pay bills. That's retirement to me. And in my late 30s, the downturn of the economy really pushed out my retirement phase, right? I thought I was going to be done at 45. It was a good goal. And at 37, I was nowhere close. But because of this opportunity, I was actually done by most people's standard financially way before 45. In fact, we were done 4 years after we joined, which was 41 years old. By 41 years old, this company, not the previous 20 years of my life, right? Because I bought my first business at 21. Not that business, not the real estate, not the cars, not all the other businesses I did had got me done financially. But this thing did in 4 years. I was done by 41, meaning I had way more money coming into my bank accounts every month than I needed to spend, which meant I got time freedom. I got to do what I want to do with my time. And so it all starts with the product, guys. I just wanted to kind of set up what this is about today and why I'm in front of you. It all starts with the product. If it wasn't for this little pill right there, if it wasn't for that little pill, this conversation would not be happening. That pill that's in this bottle, guys, is it. This is literally, I'm holding a medical breakthrough right there. And that's not me saying it. That's Washington State saying it. That product that I just showed you is called Protandim. It's our Nerf2 product. Nerf2 is a cell receptor. Your cells, trillions of them, have receptors. They're what collects the nutrients in your blood. And when you activate that receptor, the cell does things that it wouldn't normally do. And that is the science behind Protandim. We are the world's most powerful inducer of Nerf2 and inducer of some of the enzymes, right? It induces your cells to produce some key enzymes. One of those is glutathione. You may have heard of that, catalase, but specifically superoxide dismutase. I can't believe I'm diving into the science like this right now, but I think it's the way to set this up. When you're 15, 16, 18, 20, your body is producing catalase, glutathione, superoxide dismutase at a high level, and it's why you feel good. It's why cancer is not that prevalent in your teens. It's why diabetes is not that prevalent in your teens. It's why cancer is more prevalent later in life, why diabetes and heart attacks are more prevalent later in life, because after about the age of 18 to 20, your body starts producing less and less and less of those key enzymes. And that is called oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is what causes your body to start working differently at the cellular level. It's the breakdown of the cell. And at a young age, you didn't have much oxidative stress because your body was producing enough of the good things. Like, free radicals are the garbage, and we all produce a lot of free radical garbage. And at a young age, our body is producing a lot of superoxide dismutase, which is the garbage men. It takes out the garbage. Well, around 18 to 20 years old, superoxide dismutase production starts going down. We're still producing the garbage, and that gap is the oxidative stress. And every day and every month and every year that goes by, your body starts to accumulate oxidative stress. It's a proven fact in science. And for decades, the solution was to ingest antioxidants, okay? So free radicals are there. Nutritionist doctors for decades were like, go take antioxidants, these super berries, these super juices that are full of antioxidants, right? But they've also known that your body has the ability to produce the master antioxidant. One free radical and one antioxidant kind of neutralize themselves. But the problem is you produce so many millions upon millions. Actually, the number is so big, you can't even understand of how many free radicals your body produces in a day. And so the point is you can't drink or take enough supplements to offset the free radical damage that's being done in your body. And that is the aging process. It's called oxidative stress. Until this was produced. This is an activator. It activates your cells. It turns your cells back on. How about that, right? How would you like to turn back on what your body can do? And you can. From within moments of taking that tablet, your cells start to react differently, and your body starts to produce more of those enzymes that it used to produce, the good stuff. And your cells can take care of millions of free radicals. Superoxide dismutase can neutralize millions of free radicals per second, every second of the day and the night. And that is the beauty. And what's the results? The results is this. When you take Protandim, guys, when you take this product for 30 days, at the end of 30 days, and for some it's sooner, for some it's within weeks that they've done the testing. If you had your blood tested, I'm not telling you to go get it tested. I certainly didn't get my blood tested before I started taking the product. But because the science is done, at the end of 30 days, if they draw your blood and the blood of a child, an 8-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old, your blood and their blood, when looking at the markers from oxidative stress, are identical. Your blood looks the same. Like your body is producing as much of these enzymes as a child. And that is unbelievable. It is a medical breakthrough. And we're going to discuss a little bit more about the accomplishments of Protandim at the science level. But I want to jump in with a video that kind of explains where we started. This isn't a new thing. We actually have been biohacking the aging code for over a decade now. In fact, I'm about to take you back to 2005. Our company started the research a little prior to that. But in 2005, the science world and the media world came together with some of our guests are starting to join us, came together with some research. And ABC News did an investigative report on our product, and that's what I'm going to share screen now and show you. And I'll come back right after this and explain a little bit more about how you can take advantage of it. Here we go.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock? It sounds too good to be true.
Free radicals are a natural result of your body's metabolic processes. Under normal circumstances, your body also produces antioxidants, which neutralize free radicals and limit the damage they can do to your cells. It's a bit like having a factory in your cells that produces enough antioxidants to keep the free radicals under control. But exposure to X-rays, ozone, cigarette smoke, inflammation, air pollution, industrial chemicals, and even exercise can overwhelm the body's natural responses to free radicals, allowing them to wreak havoc on your cells and your health. Over time, the damage to your cells and DNA turns off the power in the cell's factory, reducing our ability to create antioxidants and leaving us vulnerable to premature aging and health concerns. Fortunately, science has given us the ability to turn the power back on. One recent peer-reviewed study from Washington State University calls NRF2 activation one of the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthroughs in the history of medicine.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life.
It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig.
Dr. McCord, okay.
I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver to meet Dr. Joe McCord, a world-renowned scientist.
This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test.
Can we scoop? Yeah, there we go.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company.
Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body.
Leading to disease.
Leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
It's called Protandim and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old. But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. Dr. McCord calculates the numbers. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Have we turned back the clock? Well, maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks.
Even mental disease?
Yes.
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression. I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
So now I think you can see a little bit of why we're so excited about this amazing product and what we, for some of us, have been able to witness ourselves in our own health, but also witness with a lot of other people in their health. Now you know why I'm so in love with the little pill. We affectionately call it the crazy yellow pill. Sometimes I call it my girlfriend, like she goes everywhere I go. And I actually take a product pack, right? I take the Vitality Stack. What's in it, guys, is kind of a combination. We call it our Biohackers Starter Kit. It's got, of course, our flagship product, Protandim, in it. But it's also got the products in it that will help you with a healthy gut. And it's also got fish oils. It's great for your brain function, joint function, and also mitochondrial function, which is really the energy, right? People are always looking for energy, whether it's coffee, caffeine, sugar. And the reality is your body doesn't need sugar or caffeine. Those are the stimulants. What it really needs is the mitochondria to do what they're supposed to do. And I know that's a big word, but here's the deal, guys. We could spend years trying to figure out the perfect scenarios of what we need to eat, and it's just a complicated thing. I like the easy button. Like there is nothing easier. There's nothing easier than opening this bottle and taking that pill. Like there's nothing easier than that. And I've been doing that for 9 years, and I feel amazing and have been feeling amazing on the products for a number of years. But I guess you can see now our enthusiasm and excitement for what we have to offer, because there's nothing else like it. We have university proof that it works, and we've just seen enough to know what it is. No one can ever convince me that that product's not real. And the ingredients that are in it is 5 plants, so it will hurt no one. You heard the doctors just say when they showed the blood work that everybody's blood, everybody that they tested, not some, not 20%, everybody that gets their blood tested and has been tested, see a reduction in oxidative stress. And as you also heard the doctor say, oxidative stress is connected to every disease you know. And so it was a, you know, I hate to say the word no-brainer is used so much, right? But I think that's kind of how I felt. I'm like, I'm going to take this product. Like, there's no reason for me to not take the product. Protandim, guys, this monthly supply is $40, $41. It's less than $50 to your door. Like, how you don't have to even go find it. We'll ship it to your door every month. That was to me like, I'm going to do that, right? And so once you understand the science about this, you can get pretty excited about what it is. And we'd love to share more of the science. We just don't have time today to do it, but certainly there's people in the room with you. If you're at one of our workshops, our social workshops where we get together as groups, there are people there that can answer questions specifically about the products. And there's also a website called crazyyellowpill.com, crazyyellowpill.com. You can go to immediately and see just pages upon pages of science, links to the National Institute of Health and all of the PubMed studies, as well as doctor interviews about these products. So go there if you have some questions about the products, but start taking it. Start taking the products. I take the Vitality Stack, free shipping. I love free shipping. I think Amazon's ruined the world. Like, I don't buy things unless I get free shipping, which is kind of silly. That's an exaggeration. But anyway, we're on the bandwagon. You can get free shipping to your house with the Vitality Stack. Let's shift gears a little bit, though, because I told you in the beginning a lot about our business background and why we joined this. It does all start with the product, guys. If it wasn't for the product, you and I would not be having this conversation today. But fortunately, I'm so grateful to this company that they have given us the opportunity to share in not only improving other people's health, but also giving us an opportunity to benefit, to help our families financially, to get back some of that time that traditional business just wasn't doing. I told you guys that we owned our own businesses. It was, listen, I'm just going to make this really simple. If hard work alone made you wealthy, every construction worker you know would be wealthy. And are they? Like, you know, hardworking people, right? Really hardworking people. Are they wealthy? Nope. Most of them are not. In fact, sometimes the hardest working people are some of the poorest people, you know. And so the point is, yes, it does take work to earn money, and to, you know, the money's just not going to fall in your lap no matter what you do. But it's trading time for money that's the problem. That in itself is the issue. And you have to find a way, and the wealthy people will tell you this, you have to find a way to get leverage. Warren Buffett says it best. If you don't know who Warren Buffett is, you might want to figure that one out. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work till you die. I've witnessed that, right? I occasionally go to the big box stores, and the people that are greeting me at the door and checking me out sometimes are 20 and 30 years older than me. And I'm almost 50. Okay. Like, I'm 47. Okay. And there's a lot of people that are way older than me that are still in the workforce. And that's because of unfortunate circumstances and trading time for money. And living the American dream, thinking you could just go to school, get a job, and live happily ever after. That is not the case. And I think it's become reality for a lot of people. And this is a way, if that was you like me, that was me just a few years ago, right? This is a way to compress time. That's what I was telling you earlier. I needed to compress time. I didn't want to work for another 20 years, guys. I had just worked 20 years busting my butt and I wasn't done, nowhere near. I didn't want to work another 20. I didn't want to work till I was 67 or 77. And so this LifeVantage was a way for me to compress time. And within 2 years, we matched our family income. So we were still working and we were doing this, sharing this information and building a team. And within 2 years, our incomes were matched. Our traditional business income and our LifeVantage income was equal, which was fantastic because it's like a dual income without having to do, double the work, right? And then within 2 more years, we hit the top rank in the company. And let me just share with you, I'm going to share my screen and then we're going to jump into our workshop here. Share the screen one more time. Let me just tell you what we're talking about because, I could get into the details of, everything with this opportunity, but this just kind of sums it up. This is the earnings claim statement from our company. Remember, we are a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ. Our stock is killing it because the revenue is growing. Guys, our stock earlier this year was $3 a share. Now we're up over 12, 13, 14. We almost hit $16 a few days back. What you're looking at on the left is ranks in the company, and those ranks are just identified or achieved through group sales. So whatever your group sales are, like a Pro 1 is doing $1,000 a month minimal in sales down through the ranks, and it kind of doubles. So Pro 2 is doing double of a Pro 1, really. A Pro 3 is doing a little more than double of that. For instance, a Pro 3 is doing $5,000 a month in group sales, not their own, but them and the team together. And our Pro 3s are averaging, if you look at the third column, they're averaging $580 a month. That's so significant, guys. Do you know Uber drivers on average, an average Uber driver is earning less than $300 a month? The average Uber driver, not the full-timer, not the guy that's in his car 24/7 hustling, the guy or girl that just does a few Uber rides a month or a week to, kind of help out. They're averaging less than $300 a month. And guys, you can do that with us with never having to get a stranger in your car or any of that hassle, right? You can do that more than double that almost with us in a very short period of time. And if you stay on this training after we're done with this opportunity meeting, you're going to meet some people personally that have done that. We're going to talk about their story and we're going to train you a little bit on how you can do that. But somewhere on this list, guys, if you look at that third column, somewhere on there, this either supplements your income. At some point, it replaces income. And the further you get down there, we're talking about life-changing money that you probably never thought you could earn in your life. You probably maybe still thinking that's not possible. No way could I do that. Who are those people? But it's there, right? And so, yeah, my wife, I gave you a little bit of our story. We're just normal people, guys. I didn't even go to college. Like, I hated school. Couldn't wait to, start life. We did that, had the kids, started working. And my wife and I have never done anything like this before, ever. Like, never. This is the first time. We had heard of these type things before, and we're like, no, thank you. You can go do that. I know how to make money. I'm going to go do what I do. And I realized that making money is not what made me happy. I needed money to survive a certain amount, and I needed time to do the things I wanted to do, not just hang out with people for 8 to 10 hours a day at work. Okay, that was not fun anymore. And lo and behold, my wife and I became Master Pro 10. So if you look down almost to the very bottom of this, Master Pro 10, go over 2 columns, and you see $99,828 a month in average income. And that's where my wife and I fall, right? That's just an average. That's not a claim, income claim that I'm making. That's an average of the Pro 10s that are in this company's income. But cut it in half, and I can promise you, well, you can see right there the minimum, the least paid Pro 10. Okay, the poorest Pro 10 makes $57,000 a month. So I think we can squeak by on that. We're not that person. We're not the lowest paid, and we're not the highest paid. We are in the middle of that. The point is, guys, we've never done anything like this. This is the first time, and I can promise you, $100,000 a month compresses time. I mean, $100,000 a month is like what most people. There's a lot of people that work all year and don't make $100,000. Some do. Like $100,000 is kind of like, you know, like the benchmark still. Like if you make $100,000 a year, you can really do some cool things in the United States on that type income. But think about what happens when that's a month. And that's a reality. That's what's sitting in front of you with this. And it's because that product is amazing. Very few people know about it. And we have a team and a system that just flat works. And so I just wanted to share that with you because we could talk forever about the business side of this, and we will share some how-tos in a second. But I'm going to encourage you to sign up as a customer today. Make that decision for your health, for your future. Get on these products. Start enjoying the products. You know, someone in the room right now can get you the products. You can get signed up in 5 minutes. So, hey, listen, if you're in a room with some people right now and you're interested, if you're ready to sign up, there's someone in the room right now with a paper app or an iPad or a laptop that can get you signed up. Go see them. We're going to pause this thing here in a minute. You can get signed up. And if you're ready for a little bit more, if you need to compress some time in your life, if trading time for money has not worked at this point, I'm going to encourage you to sign up as a distributor. There are 3 packs. Go to the person in the room that invited you or someone that's there that can help you. They'll talk about those packs. They're silver, gold, and platinum, and they are amazing. In fact, we just got some new pack announcements, got an email about some of the new products that are in those packs. And so we're excited for you to get this information. We are excited for you to be introduced to this amazing product and group of people. Team True Blue is a diverse group of people that have a common goal, and that is helping one another achieve some big things. And you've been introduced to something just amazing, just absolutely amazing. Robert Kiyosaki says that poor people look for jobs and rich people look for networks. Building your network, guys. If there's one thing we should all do, we should build our networks, because the more people you know, the better chance that you're going to have an opportunity to stumble upon something that can improve your life or other people's lives. And that's what we do. So thank you guys for joining me for a few minutes. And I'm excited for you to get this information. So go ahead and pause this, guys, and get everybody signed up. Maybe take some bathroom breaks. Get some coffees, some snacks, some waters, whatever. And we're going to come right back into a training that you just don't want to miss. You can see some of the ladies that are here that we're going to jump into this with right away. So pause this recording, and then I'll see you back in just a little bit. Okay, so I'm glad you guys are here with us, and so excited to get into this training. We kind of went a little bit long, a few minutes long on the opportunity side of this thing, but man, oh man, I'm excited to jump into this with you guys and these ladies. We've got Stacy King with us, and we got Holly Tomet with us. We are pumped, guys, to have you with us. Let me, let's see, let me unmute those lines. Let's see, that one should unmute. That one should unmute. Let's see, Stacy, I got you. Okay, good. We're ready to rock and roll. How are you guys doing this morning?
We're doing great.
Good, good, good. Good to see you guys. All right, so let me give these ladies a little introduction. Some of you that have been around the team for a little bit may have heard their stories starting to circulate, because it's a fun story to tell. I certainly enjoy it. And I just thought that we would bring the story to a little bit more of a reality today with some faces, and you could hear from them, you know, how they're having success, what they're doing, and the journey that's got us here. Stacy lives down in Florida. I see it's a cool looking fireplace you got going there behind you.
Thank you.
It's. I know the people up north are like, oh yeah, it's so cold in Florida.
Yeah, the heat's not on. It just looks pretty.
Right?
Yeah.
We do the same thing. Like if it gets 65, it's like, ooh, Jack.
Exactly.
And I know up north, like this week, it was like -30 or -40 in Minneapolis, and I'm like, whoa, that's. So I know, Holly, you're in Michigan, so that's legitimate winter time.
We are freezing, absolutely freezing. I think it was -3 this morning, I think is what the temp was. I'm looking right now.
-3. Well, you guys, this story that you're about to hear, no matter where you're at, it's going to heat things up. So Stacy, I met Stacy, got to be about a year ago. We had chatted, I knew of you, but we had a conversation about a year ago when some things had actually started to build for you. But I know for a period of time, we just showed those ranks in the income earnings statement. I think you were a Pro 2, is that correct?
Yes.
And you were Pro 2 for a minute.
Like 2.5 years.
Okay,
like
a lot of
forever.
minutes.
It felt like it was never going to end.
Like a lot of minutes. Okay, and for some of you guys out there that, are maybe new to us, you go through these ranks based on sales volumes, and it's not uncommon that people will have some early success, and it's because of their enthusiasm and their excitement. We call it ignorance on fire. Not that anybody's ignorant. It's just that you really just don't know what you don't know. You're just excited. And you tell a bunch of people, and you find some people that are like, I don't know what she's on, but I want it. Okay, sign me up. I want the product, right? And you can get to some ranks. But then you get to a point where it takes some skills and it takes a team. It takes more than one person to start to expand. And I'm sure, Stacy, that's where you were at Pro 2. So Pro 2 for 2 years.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
So the first thing I want to share, because I think this is one of the most powerful parts of the story and what we can share this morning for the people that are going to watch this, is most people just don't have what it takes to stick it out 2 years, 1 year, much less 2. Like when some people get stuck, they're like, I must not know how to do this. I can't do this. I'm out. So what was it that made you stick it? What kept you going?
Well, I tend to be a really resilient person that never gives up. And I saw what this was. I wanted it so badly for my family. I'm a stay-at-home mom with 3 kids, and I was going to have to go back to work if I didn't make this work. And so that was really motivating to me because that's important. I wanted to stay home and raise my kids. But more importantly, I love the products and what we're about. And I am all about making a difference in people's lives and changing lives. And there's only one other time in my life I've ever found a vehicle where I can really make a difference in people's lives. And so I really think that propelled me to keep going. I went to probably 4 or 5 EAs by myself, rooming with random people, sitting by myself.
What's an EA? I know what it is, but a lot of people listening doesn't know what EA is.
So we have a conference 3 or 4 times a year. That's our training conference, Elite Academy. And I would say the Elite Academy has kept me going to put the truth of what our opportunity, our products, the kind of people, the kind of culture, and I knew I wanted to be a part of it. But I have to admit,
let me just say, guys, if you're taking notes, which I hope you are, like when I asked her what helped her, right? The very first thing she said was EA. So if you're stuck, or in the future when you get stuck, because no one goes through this without getting stuck. Everybody listening to our voices right now is going to get stuck at some rank at some point. And just remember, EA, Elite Academies, is a high priority if you want to get unstuck.
Yeah.
So EA was a big thing. You went to a number of them by yourselves. How many did you go to without having a team with you?
Probably 5.
5.
Probably
okay.
5.
And these things are spaced out, guys, 3 or 4 months. So we're talking over the span of a year, almost 2 years, maybe. Close.
Yeah. It was pretty close because I didn't hit everyone, but it was close. And I'm rooming with random people. I'm sitting by myself. I'm watching all these other people give hugs and have teams. And I had enrolled quite a few distributors, but I had never found anybody all in like I was and excited about it. They would try to do stuff and not do a lot. So they weren't committed enough to go. But I knew if I was going to be successful that I had to go to EA. And then at EA's, I networked. So whether it was Crossline or whether it was people in Team True Blue, there's a lot of people watching this that is part of why I didn't give up, because they would invest in me, encourage me. I would ask them questions because I knew I was stuck, and I would really listen to wisdom of people that had made it. And that was a really big part in just keeping me going. It's like I'd get a little nugget to work on and it would just let me keep going to the next one.
Okay. In kind of, you know, when I started to see this going on in Stacy's group, one of the things I love doing is I love diving into the story and dissecting things. So I've talked to Holly a number of times about this, and we're going to, you know, share a little bit of this with you guys, but EA is a big part of it. And then, you know, we kind of start to branch into the story that's developing with Holly and her team. But before we do that, Stacy, when Holly popped up onto the scene, I asked you, like, who found Holly? And I'm like, tell me, because I think it was Indianapolis. Was Indianapolis EA the first one where you actually had some teammates with you at EA?
Yeah, so it was actually exactly a year ago in February. I had not just one person go with me, but 5. Okay. And Deanna, Holly's good friend, was there, and she was part of the original 5. And it was 1 year ago.
Let me back up a little bit too, because I forgot. One of the key parts that really catapulted Stacy into moving ranks, guys, EA is what kept her going. But she went out and participated in one of our physique challenges.
Yeah.
And had a physical makeover. Like, she lost a bunch of weight. And that was really becoming more of a product of the product, letting the products kind of develop a story. That, like, people saw a change in you, and that helped you get to Pro 3, right? Like, you jumped to Pro 3 pretty quickly.
Yeah. And what that really does was I had, at that point, when you're stuck so long, you have a lot of crap going on in your head and a lot of voices. And I had a lot of people close to me saying, I couldn't make it, I couldn't do it. And, you know, it's a roller coaster. And when you ride the roller coaster and you listen to the voice of your head, it gets you even more screwed up. So that weight loss challenge really pushed me to overcome my fears, to use social media and put really embarrassing pictures on there, to be honest. It's not fun to put pictures of yourself when you're at your worst. And even though there was improvement, I mean, those pictures were all over the internet. Everyone was using them. And that was hard to see, because the reality was, you know, it's kind of showing you at your worst and your best. So I had to get out of my head. I had to overcome my fears, and I had to get uncomfortable. And I forced myself for the first time to do what I didn't want to do and what felt uncomfortable. And that was a game changer. And I had some people pushing me. I had some people messaging me, you better get those pictures out there. Why haven't you posted them? And then that just catapulted me into doing a lot of things that are uncomfortable. You know, initially I wasn't comfortable doing the Zoom for my team, but I had to do it because I had a team. So whether I was good at it or not, I had to do it. And so that overcoming fears, getting out of your head, being uncomfortable, that was a game changer in getting unstuck.
Yeah. So guys, if you're taking notes, plugging into events, Elite Academy being the biggest event is going to help you get unstuck, help people on your team get unstuck. It's going to help you understand why we're doing this. And never, ever, 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 ever underestimate the power of our products and a product story, specifically for yourself. Now, you don't have to have an amazing product story to be successful in this business. I didn't. I don't have this incredible product story. Yes, I had benefits from the product, but never underestimate the power of these products and using them all. That's why these kits have so much product. I mean, whether it's the hair care system, physique system, our vitality stack, Holly losing weight, that story catapulted people like, okay, I'm in. I want to lose some weight. She jumps to Pro 3. And that combined with getting a team to Indianapolis is what led to Holly. So you just said, Stacy, one of Holly's friends was with you in Indianapolis.
Exactly. So we had our 5 people that were kind of all in and really excited. And I finally had a team that wanted to work and do it. And so we switched gears to doing a lot more income producing activities. And then we also had to create a system that duplicated. So up until then, I had spent way too much time being a junior scientist, talking way too much. And so we had to find a system that people could come on and do and duplicate. And Holly's team has done a fantastic job of just tapping right into that. So it's not going to be helpful if it doesn't duplicate. And so I had to kind of change how I was doing, and that it was about me, because now I am in a team and I wanted them to be successful. And we had to create some tools and create some system and really improve our training and communication so that they would know what to do.
Okay, so let's jump into this. So let's get Holly here. Hi, Holly. I know you've been here for a little bit. Thank you so much for being a part of this. We had fun. I don't know, Stacy probably told you the story about, I guess that was 2 weekends ago. Yeah, it was almost 2 weekends ago. We did a training down in Tampa, and Stacy was on the panel. And so we talked about you quite a bit in Tampa 2 weeks ago. And, we were saying like Holly, she's like, this little rock star that we're talking about. And half the room was excited for Holly and half the room was like, oh, Holly, she's having so much success. So anyway, it's good to get you here with us. You guys, Holly has come onto the scene. She's up in Michigan. She's come onto the LifeVantage scene and has had tremendous success quickly. And while it's very possible, obviously, she's done it, it's not normal to have the success that she's had as quickly as she's had. So I just want everybody to be clear with that. And that's why we highlighted Stacy's story, right? Stacy was stuck for 2 years at Pro 2, guys. Don't forget that. That's why we highlighted that just now. But when you're strong enough and your why is big enough like Stacy's, eventually you find people like Holly. And now everybody, Holly, is dying to know, okay, Holly, what are you doing? How did you go? Like you're a Pro 5 now, and how many months? How many months to Pro 5?
3 months.
3 months, guys. 3 months to Pro 5. Go back and look at that income earnings statement, and you'll know the significance of what we're talking about. And the first time I had kind of heard of Holly through Stacy, but Stacy asked me to do a strategy session for her team on a team Zoom like this, but privately for her team. And there was this woman on there, Holly, and I was like, she looks like she's in a cool location. I can see it in the background. And Holly was on vacation, but yet was still on a team Zoom. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I've been around this a long time, 9 years plus. That just raises a really big, the cool flag for me, because that's the kind of stuff we used to do. And it's an indicator to me that this person is special. Like this person's willing to do the unordinary. And, if you do the ordinary things, you end up with an ordinary life. If you do the extraordinary things, you end up with an extraordinary life. And joining business Zooms on vacation is extraordinary. And obviously, Holly is an extraordinary person. And so, Holly, they are dying to know, like, what are you doing? So we just want to know, what are you showing people? What are you telling people? Tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing.
Okay, well, first of all, to say I'm thankful Stacy didn't give up is an understatement, because if she had given up, I would not be here. So I'm so thankful for her perseverance. And honestly, Brandon, I'm doing what you guys say to do. It's the invite and tool and team. And I was stuck for a little while too. I was a distributor in like early summer, and I believed in the products and I loved the products. The business, I didn't get at all. I didn't understand. And thankfully, Deanna and Stacy were like, you have to come to EA in Utah and the global convention. And so I'm a student. I love to learn. And so I went to learn, and that was the game changer for me. I didn't have a single distributor before convention in Utah. So 3 months ago, I didn't have a single distributor under me. I had customers, but no distributors. And now I think we have, Stacy, what'd you say we've got now? I don't even know the count. It's pretty substantial.
We got 18 distributors on our team this month. I think your team got 8, 9, 10, something like that. Yeah. A lot.
It's growing pretty fast.
That's fantastic. So you mentioned ITT. For those that don't know, that might be new, guys, ITT is just an acronym. We call it IT, like just do it. And they're like, what should I do? And we go do it, but it's IT with 2 T's. It's invite, tool, team. And it's a process that you go through that allows this business to duplicate. Instead of us doing all the heavy lifting all the time, that's a job. We want a system. And the system is we invite people to this information. And I'm going to ask you, Holly, in a second, like, what's some of your invites? Like, how are you getting people to take a look at this? The tool that most everybody is using is crazyyellowpill.com. It's a video, it's a website. But on that website, you have a main video that is probably for 95% of the people that we're going to show this to. There is a small amount of people that we may want to just show the science to for whatever reason. And we have that covered too at Crazy Yellow Pill. There's a science section, and you can send them directly there too, to the science page that has just the ABC primetime video, but also has doctor interviews. So no matter who you're talking to, crazyyellowpill.com is an effective tool. And then, of course, we follow up, and the last one is the team, and we're going to talk about that. So what I want to key in, Holly, with you is your invites and then the team. Like, I want to know, what are you using three-way calls? Are you using Zooms? Are you doing home meetings? Like, I want to know what that looks like too. But let's start with the invite. How are you inviting? What are you saying to people?
So people that know me know I'm kind of a health fanatic. So they've known that about me for a long time, sometimes to a fault, probably. I'm no expert, but that's my goal in life. We try to do things holistically. So coming on these products for me, once I wrapped my brain around what they were doing, was amazing. So I couldn't help but share with people. And so typically I'm saying I found something that has just been life-changing for my husband and I. For me, it was a pain issue, and I'm literally pain-free. And when I tell people that, or my husband's story, briefly, just that it was a life-changing, all-natural product that we've just fallen in love with, and can I share it with you? And most people really want to know about it. Who doesn't want to know about that?
Yeah. So what I hear there, guys, is two things. One, and we've noticed this, Holly, because of her passion for health, she's knowledgeable. Before LifeVantage, like, you probably could ask Holly a lot of questions about food, nutrition, the body, and she probably would have a lot of that information to share just because it's something of interest to her. So we've noticed that people run in circles of influence. And so when you are really knowledgeable about something, you become influential in that area. So I would tell you guys that it's important that if you want to have a good invite, that you're inviting people into an arena that you have some knowledge about. And if you don't there, it's even more important that you're relying on a system. So the invite's good. And also what I hear there is, she has a story. She started taking the product. She started feeling things differently on the product. And I will tell you guys, you don't need to have a story, but if you have a story, it sure makes the invite a lot more effective. It just does. And that's why I say, be a product of the product. I mean, Stacy was taking Protandim for a few years, and it wasn't Protandim necessarily that gave her product story. It was physique. So she used a different product line, lost some weight. Now she's got this product story. So love that invite. You're putting them on Crazy Yellow Pill. You're following up with them. And then how are you getting people's questions answered? Because we know the mistake many people make, Holly, is that they try to answer all their friends' questions. And so what are you doing? How are you guys getting to the team?
So that was a hard part for me, honestly. I train horses. My comfort zone is out in the barn. I mean, three-way calls and Zoom. I had never heard of Zoom before I went to Utah. Didn't even know what it was. And I told Stacy, this is the weirdest thing. I don't do three-way calls. I don't do Zoom. I'm a farm girl. That's our lifestyle out here. And I learned quick, because on those trackers that we have to use, which are so helpful, and you could see your accountability, what are you leaving out? And I would contact a lot of people, but I was not using the team part of the tracker. And it showed me, it was clear as day. So I told Stacy, I've got to get out of my comfort zone and do this. And she's super supportive and helpful. And so once I got rolling with the Zooms and the three-way calls, I absolutely just a game changer. That's when distributors started to jump on board, because Stacy's done this for 4 years. She can answer the questions, and I don't need to be the expert. I'm new. So that third-party validation, having somebody come onto a three-way, we've done them in cars, we've done them while I'm out in the barn, we've done them here in the house, we've done them wherever we can make it work, we make it work. And now that's my go-to for everything. I have to follow up with that, and that was definitely a game changer.
Man, I love that. Guys, I hope for those of you that are watching this, or those on your team that may miss this, that you get this recording in their hands, because what Holly just shared with you is really the key to our business. It's the leverage. What she was doing previously was exciting and fun, but it was really just a job. I'm telling you, when you're inviting and you're doing the follow-up, if that's the method in which this thing works, then you just got a job, because you're going to always have to be inviting and always following up. But there's a saying in this business I want you guys to remember: what works does not matter. Only what duplicates matters. And so you could say, well, Holly was signing people up and getting customers, so it's working. That doesn't matter. What matters is what duplicates. And see, now, because Holly has a system with the team, at some point, I bet you this has already happened. I bet you there's already been a point where Stacy is doing a call or a Zoom for Holly, and Holly's nowhere around. I bet you it's already happened. I bet it's already happened where Holly's off with the horses doing what Holly needs to do, and her business is growing because Stacy's doing three-way calls or Zooms. And see, you might say, well, what about Stacy? Stacy has the same thing. Stacy at some point has been off doing something else, and she's got her people plugged into a Zoom or a three-way call, and her business is growing. And that's the whole thing that we are after, is that a business is growing while we're not doing the work. We're just accustomed to working and getting paid. This is about doing the work in a system and letting the system pay us. And so I'm glad you shared too, Holly, that was uncomfortable for you. Even though you're an expert in these fields and have all this knowledge, there's certain things that you had to do that was uncomfortable. And it was uncomfortable for me. Listen, before I got in LifeVantage, guys, I had never done a three-way call. I had no need. I had no need to talk to 3 people or 2 people at the same time, right? But all of a sudden, there was a need. I needed to get out of what I was doing. And that meant I had to learn something, like some technology and some different things. That was kind of the pathway out. And so I know you're Pro 5, but I know Stacy, Stacy's a 5, but knocking on the door of Pro 6, it's going to happen. You know, Stacy, I'll just give you a little bit of insight. So we know February, we're here, right? It's February 1st. Most people are watching this Saturday, February 1st. And my wife and I hit Pro 7 in the month of February, and we hit Pro 9 in the month of February. So everybody that's watching this, don't discount the shortest month of the year. It's like, I love February. It's my favorite month of the year. We almost hit Pro 10 in February. We ended up hitting it in March. So Pro 7 in February, Pro 9 in February, almost Pro 10 in February. And so, guys, this crew led by Stacy is a team to watch. I'm so excited for you, Holly, and your success. I know you're up in Michigan, and True Blue, Team True Blue, the planning is already underway for how we're going to help continue to grow what's going on in Michigan. Excited to see you guys and your teams at Elite Academies, which is just coming up very soon. So congratulations on all your success. And man, I'm so happy for you and your friends. You guys, it's so cool to be able to do life with your friends and have your friends doing this with you. It's so awesome. Imagine, Holly, in a year from now, when you've got 5 or 6 of your closest friends and you guys are on an all-inclusive free trip with LifeVantage, because it's coming.
We're looking forward to it.
It's coming. So thank you, ladies, for being on here with us today. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So, guys, what a great story for you to be able to, hear, witness, dissect a little bit, because there's so much there for you to learn from for you now and in the future about, you know, this business, what happens when you get stuck, how to get unstuck, and some of the things that they're using for success. So I know my wife has come into the office and she's going to be a part of the rest of this workshop with us today. This is Lynette. You heard me talking about her just a little bit ago. And we're going to share with you guys some of the things that we think you need to know to continue to build your business. And so I want just to start this thing out with a little bit of the specifics of what you need to do to rank advance and get to Pro 1, Pro 2, Pro 3. And we've developed a tool called the Map to Pro 3. We also have the Map to Pro 5. And I'm going to share my screen one more time with you guys. I should have pulled it up already. So let me do this. Before I share screen, let me pull up the map. There we go. That should work. Maybe you can hear our puppy outside the door now. Let me close this. Share screen. And here's the map. It takes me a second to move all the stuff out of the way. Okay. There's the map to Pro 3. And we have developed this so that you can very easily, simply look at what you need to do. Now, I want to emphasize that if you're already a Pro 3, I don't want you to check out on me mentally here. Okay? If you're a Pro 4, Pro 5, don't check out. I want you to pay attention to what we're about to do, because you can be a Pro 3 and not be earning, we're saying $577 a month. So listen, if you're a Pro 3 and you're not earning $577 a month, or if you're a Pro 4 and you're not earning that kind of money a month, then you're missing something here. And that's why we put this together. So step one, and I'm going to go through these pretty quickly to get to this last graph, but step one is to get to 200 PV. And you just heard two ladies that are having success, and it's based on many times a product story and product success. How can you have a product story unless you are using all of the products, or at least trying the different products month to month? Because I know some of you are like, wait, I can't afford to use all these products. That could be hundreds of dollars. I get that. But how about like, Nerf 2 is the base. Like baseline is this, guys. Like, everybody should be on that. I don't care if you're 5 years old or 500, right? You should be on this product. That's baseline. And then if you can't afford to use the other products, you have a couple options. Rotate them month to month, trying different things, or go get enough customers so that you start earning an income and you can get them free, right? And then you can try the stuff. But it starts at 200 PV. So if you're a Pro 3 and you're not making over $500 a month, make sure you have 200 PV, and you get PV by your own product purchase and by your customer's purchase. Okay, just saying, if you're not making over 500 bucks and you're a Pro 3 or Pro 4, first thing you need to check is your PV. And if you don't have it, that should be your number one goal, right? Next step is you just go find some people that think like you, that want better health, that are looking for some financial improvement, and go find 3 of them. Now, that doesn't mean that only 3 and you'll make $500. It starts with 3, okay? And then we make sure that those 3 people have 200 PV. We go find the 3, and then we go help them do what we already did, get the 200 PV, right? And then we duplicate that one more level deep, 3 levels. And this is what it looks like when you duplicate it out. This is what I want to key in on, guys, because if you're not quite yet a Pro 3, maybe you're a Pro 1 or Pro 2, I want you to make sure that you're not skipping some steps, skipping some levels, okay? So level 1 in your organization needs to have 3 people there. If you've only got 1 person on level 1, then going to level 2 or step 2 is a mistake, right? You might have 1 person that has $1,800 or $2,000 in sales underneath them, but it's because they went out and found some people. You've only got 1. So go get 3 people on your top line. Okay, that's a minimum. It's not a maximum, it's a minimum. But if you're not making $500 a month, 200 PV, do you have that? Second thing to look for is on your first line in your genealogy, do you have 3 people? Okay, and do they have 200 PV? And then next thing down, guys, is you want those 3 to get their 3. This is the duplication model. Now, it doesn't have to work perfectly where you signed up 3 and each of those 3 got 3. Here's what can start to happen. You need to have 3 because that's the behavior you can control. Those are your personal enrollments, right? 3 people. But maybe one of those 3 only got 1 person, but another one got 5, right? So that's still 6. As long as you get 9 distributors on your second level, I don't really care how you got there. As long as you got 3 on the first level and there's 9 on the second level and then 27 on the third level, and you can easily see this in your back office. Okay, you can easily go in your back office, pull up the genealogy, or have someone help you do it. That if you've never done it the first time, you're gonna need help. And start looking in your graphic tree. Okay, I got 3 there. Yep, got 3. Yep, got 9. Okay, oh, I only got 15 on my third level. All right, I need to get 12 more people so that I can fill this out. If you guys, if everybody on your team does this, it maximizes the compensation plan. It pays you the highest level of returns you can get. It's almost what we call a forced matrix. And honestly, there's some teams and some cultures, they do this. Completely forced matrix, no Swiss cheese in the comp plan. Every penny is earned because they know I got to go put 3 here, 9 here, 27, right? And so if you're not, I said 577, that might have confused you. It's 588. If you're not making $588 a month and you want to, we just laid out for you how to do it. Like, it's there.
Well, and it all begins with you, really. You can't go out and ask your 3 that you personally enrolled to have a $200 auto ship or a subscription comprised of them and their customers if you have not accomplished that yourself. They can see through it just like people can see through it when you don't believe in what you're doing. So it starts with you. It's going to help you build a story, but it's also going to start that proper duplication from the get-go. And then you can go out there and speak with belief because it's what you do. It's who you are. And then that duplication repeats itself.
Yeah. So this is a key PowerPoint for you guys to internalize, because I know a lot of people are not making $588 a month and you want to, right? So if you're not, even if you're not making $90 a month, if you're not making $90 a month, it's because you don't have 9 people on your second level and you don't have 3 people on your first level. You might have a bunch of customers, right? You might have a bunch of customers, and that's great. Maybe you are making $90 and you only have customers. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you that if you want to get to the bigger money, if you want the duplication, as you just heard from Stacy, you're going to need a team. Right? And this is the way that we teach people to get to Pro 3. And honestly, if you look at the bottom, the $7,800 in revenue there is beyond Pro 3. You're knocking on the door of Pro 4 volume there. You're more than halfway to Pro 4 volume. It's just kind of the way the numbers worked out here. But building 3 in duplication. So just wanted to share that with you.
The one thing I'd add is a lot of times when you're new to this business, not everything makes sense. Like we may not, I know for Brandon and I, when we got involved with LifeVantage, there were 2 products. There was Protandim Nerf 2 and there was the anti-aging cream. And so when we bought our platinum pack and had $1,000 worth of product and they told us to get an auto ship or subscription of $200 for the next month, we're like, for what? Like, I've got 20 bottles of Protandim. What do I need more for? And they're like, trust us. It's what you want to do. You can use that to market. We're like, I don't get it, but okay. And we did it. And they told us to go to Elite Academy. We're like, I don't want to go. I don't like pep rallies. But we did it. And we reaped the benefit. And so if this stuff doesn't make sense to you, even though I feel like this is about the most simplistic way that you can wrap your mind around what's being said, even if it doesn't make sense to you, just know that it's proven. This has been like tried and tested, and it is for what's best for your business for a multitude of reasons.
Yeah, and for some of you, Lynette just made a great point. There's going to be so much you don't understand. It doesn't make sense. And you just have to go back to why you became a distributor. Let's keep this simple. You became a distributor. There's different reasons, but at the end of the day, no one signs up as a distributor if they have all the time freedom they want in the world, they have all the money in the world, and they're perfectly content and happy. Okay? Why would you have signed up as a distributor? There was something missing. You know, a lot of times people sign up in this and they're like, well, I just want to help people. Well, I understand that. I understand that. You know what you need to help people? You know what you really, really need a lot of to help people? Time. You need a lot of time. If you're going to help people, it takes time and money. You need a lot of money, not some money. If you're going to help like more than one or two people, you need a lot of money and a lot of time. So that's why people sign up as distributors, is they need time and money, or they want to help other people, right? And so that means that what you've been doing hasn't gotten it done. Lynette and I made a lot of money, but it wasn't getting it done. So to keep this really simple for you guys, you are now in a business, and a business to earn you back your time and your money. And you're going to have to learn some new techniques and do some things that just doesn't make sense. Like she just said, I remember that conversation. Like one of our conversations was like, okay, we'll buy this pack because we're going to take the product anyway. Like that was our thought process, right? And lo and behold, a few years later, because we did what we were told to do, this worked out pretty well. So anyway, let me unshare the screen here and just come back to Lynette and I. And let's just take them through. I'm not going to do a virtual tour here of Crazy Yellow Pill, but I want to talk about our invites a little bit to Crazy Yellow Pill. We've already talked about crazyyellowpill.com. It's crazyyellowpill.com. But let's talk about how to invite to crazyyellowpill.com. There are basically two types of people. The people that you know on a first name basis, that's what we call our warm list, our hot list. People that you kind of know on a first name basis, or you sort of know them at work or at the gym. In other words, if you see them, you know, you recognize each other, right? They're not a total stranger to you. And then there's the other side, is total strangers. That's the cold list, that's cold market, people that you'll never see or ever see again, just maybe grocery store or passing, right? That's the cold list. And there's actually two different ways to invite with those people. When people know you, it's more like, you know, if Lynette was not my wife and she was just somebody I worked with, it would be, you know, an invite sort of like this. It would be, hey, Lynette, you know, after the little chit chat, right? Where maybe something's been said in the conversation that's tipped me off that, okay, this is time to maybe invite, or maybe I'm just like, Lynette's on my list and I'm going to invite her today, right? We're on a coffee break or something. And it would be something like, Lynette, you know, we work together, you know what I do. And on the side, you know, I've got some real estate stuff. What you probably don't know is that it's killing me. Like I'm no longer happy doing what I've been doing. All I feel like is I'm working. What you probably don't know is I've got 2 kids at home that I rarely see, because when I leave here, I got to go do that work. Not the family work, but the real estate work. And so I've been looking. I've been searching for some way to get some time back, to get control of my time. And I found something. I'm actually excited about. And, you know, I thought of you. We've had some conversations in passing. I just thought of you. I don't know. Are you open? Like, do you keep your options open to things? Or is like this where we're working, is this it? Like, is this plan A for the rest of your life?
Hope not. That's usually what people say, right?
Right.
Yeah, like, sure, yeah.
So she's like, I keep my options open. I'm like, okay, so I'll send you a link to a video. If I send you the link, would you take a look at it?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. What's a good time? Like, I know you got maybe kids at home. When do things settle down at home?
Probably not till about 9 at night.
Okay,
honestly.
that's fine. I mean, that's a lot like us. So I'm going to send you the link. Is a text message the best way?
Yeah.
I'll send you the link about 8:30, 8:45, so it's fresh, doesn't get lost down in your text messages. It's fresh. Just push the link. It's a video. It's a ABC News investigative report, but there's some other information there that'll kind of give you some insight to what I'm excited about. And then I kind of want to know what you think. And if that's going to be a few minutes, and I'll call you back about 9:15. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, so that's it. Like, that's the invite, guys, to someone I know. So there's 4 steps, right? Tell them what you do. Tell them what you don't like. Step 2, the key component. Step 2, if you don't tell them what you don't like, it sounds like sales, right? Like, hey, this is what I do, and I found something exciting. But if it's, hey, this is what I do, and it's killing me, and it's why I'm on a journey to find something, I found something, I'm excited, and then you proceed, right? So that's the one side. The other side is where Lynette and I really are, and many people are, and that is just inviting everybody that we see, right? Lynette and I were just talking this week. One of the things cool about inviting people that you'll never see again is there's no emotional attachment to it. It's like, who cares? Right? Like, throw it out there. And if they bite, great. If they don't, it does not matter at all. Right? And so something like that, it would be, they usually will ask you, or you can ask them, like, so what do you do? And obviously that question only works if you're not in their workplace. If someone's a waitress and you go, so what do you do? That would be weird. Right? But if you ask a few questions, sometimes people will ask you, what do you do? Or the question will come up, right, at some point, and you could say something like, and this is why we made the website what it is, it would be like, well, you've heard of the crazy yellow pill, right? And they're going to go, no, what's that? And you're like, you haven't heard of the crazy yellow pill? You got to hear about the crazy yellow pill. It's unbelievable. Do you want to take a look at it? They're like, yeah, I want to know. And then you get their information. Like, are you on Facebook? Can I text it to you? What's the best way to get the video to you? You got to hear about the crazy yellow pill and zip it. Like, that's it. They ask questions, well, I'll send you the link. They're a stranger. They're a stranger. So,
the theme, I think, in no matter what invite you use, because I was thinking about the examples that were given earlier on the training. I was thinking about what you just said. And the most important thing in all of it is your posture. Like, your, belief in what you have, and unwavering, like, this is what it is. And regardless of their response, this must remain the same, because you basically relinquish control if this changes with their response. So when you say whatever it is you're going to say with conviction, excitement, passion, that's why we say all the time that it's better to be like, what's ignorance on fire
versus knowledge on ice.
Than knowledge on ice, because people it's all about the emotion that they get, right? And so if your body language is saying something other than what your mouth is saying, they're listening to your body language.
Yeah, I was just talking to a distributor yesterday. Her name's Mandy over on the East Coast, and she's got a guy that was looking. In fact, they may be on here. Mandy may be on here. So we were talking about how the invite went down, and she was planning on talking to this guy, and the guy messaged her. And anyway, here's the point. The point is, she had literally like 60 seconds because she was about to pick up her kids when the call happened. And so she was able to say, hey, I got just a few seconds, but you got to know this. And that was genuine truth. And guys, that's the other side of this thing. And that kind of goes with the posture. Like, that gave her the posture. Like, if this guy starts asking questions, she's like, dude, I got to go I got to go. Like, hey, listen, I'll call you back. It's amazing. You got to know this, but I got to get my kids. When can I talk to you later? And the phone call's over. The point is, posture, as Lynette said, keeps you in control. right? Mandy was in control. So little side note, if you want to be really good about inviting, invite when you're in a hurry, and it needs to be authentic. Like I was watching Lynette years ago inviting while she was cooking. And she would be like, hey, I'm cooking. I got some stuff going on, but there's something you got to know. And they start asking a bunch of questions. It was easy for her to go, hey, stuff's burning. Like, got to go. We'll chat later. Bye. Right? I mean, changing diapers, kids, the crazier your life is, the better it is to invite. Like at the craziest moments in your life, that's where you should be inviting, because it puts you in control. It shows them this can be done anywhere, anytime, anyhow, under all circumstances. And like Lynette said, posture, like you're gonna get asked, is this one of those things? Like, you know, like if I ask Lynette, like she gives me the invite and I go, well, is this one of those things? Like, what would be your response to that?
Well, I think you're in control when you're the one asking questions, right? So I first would want to know one of what things.
Good point.
Specifically. Mm-hmm. And then depending on the answer, you know, a lot of times you get the reply, a pyramid.
Right.
And, you know, I don't know, one of the answers I gave often was, well, what do you mean a pyramid? You mean kind of like traditional business where the owner or the president makes more money than the vice president and the vice president makes more money than, is that what you mean by a pyramid? Or what do you define a pyramid as? And again, depending on the response, you know, because really what people don't realize, they go, oh, well, where the person on the bottom or where the person on the top makes all the money. So if that's the answer, that's corporate America. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is traditional business. And no, it's not like that at all. It's quite different. Actually, I'll tell you all about it. You know, so I think asking questions is really going to help you to discern how to answer the question, because if you read their question wrong, you're not going to resolve their concern. You need to make sure you're understanding it.
Yeah, and I mean, Lynette just hit the nail on the head. Asking questions keeps you in control. Remember that. If you're asking questions, you're winning the conversation. If you're making statements, you're losing because you're answering the questions. And I get asked that question. I'll kind of clarify, like, is this what you're talking about? And they'll be like, yeah. And I'll be like, well, let me tell you something. If it wasn't that, I'm out. I would not be interested in this opportunity if it wasn't that, because I did the other deal. I did the deal. I own the companies. I was an employee. That doesn't work, does it? Right? Let me show you what this can do in these type systems. So it's all about posture. It's all about posture when you get asked these questions. And knowing how to answer a question with a question, like Lynette said, is a skill that you want to acquire as you do this. But to really keep it simple, if you're excited, you win. Like if people are going to join you just because you're excited. They're going to want to know what you're doing.
Well, if you're excited, somebody's answer is not going to change that, right? If you're genuinely, truly excited, and then you're on to the next one. And the beautiful thing in that is there's no attachment to that one person. And it's kind of like the boy that chases the girl, right? When the boy stops chasing, the girl becomes interested. It's kind of like that in this business as well. If somebody feels like you need them, they may shrug it off. But if they realize, oh, wait, like they're for real, they're going to do this, maybe I need to take a closer look. So that, again, is the value in not having that, you know, obsessiveness about each individual person and being tied to their response to what you're saying.
Yeah, so crazyyellowpill.com was developed for the masses of us that need to be inviting every day. It's the easiest way I've ever come across to invite people to something, because we can talk about, you know, honestly, when people ask me today, like, what do you do? If I really want to catch them off guard, and I have fun with this because they're strangers, I'm never going to see them again. Like, what do you do, Brandon? I'm like, I turn plants into money. And they're like, what? And so that's the response I want. I want to catch them off guard, because now who's in control? Me. I'm in control, right? And they're like, what are you talking about? And I'll go, well, you've heard of the crazy yellow pill, right? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, you need to. It's called nutrigenomics is what it is. And it's unbelievable. You got to take a look at this video. I'll send you the link. Crazy Yellow Pill, and they get on there and it lays it out, and we got all the sign. It's just awesome. It allows me to invite all day, every day. And I use it all the time. You know, two people like, well, what do you do? Well, whatever. Like they get all scientific and like, come on, man. People that are strangers, if you're gonna really want to shock them into listening instead of it in one ear and out the other, you need a little bit of an invite that's going to catch them off guard. You just do. All right. So let's jump to Team True Blue a little bit. Of course, you guys have heard that a little bit. For some of you new folks here, the team's been around for over 8 years. It's a big part of the success of this entire organization is what we do as a team. We developed a website, teamtrueblue.org, not .com, .org, that has every tool under the sun. Before you ask a million questions upline, go be an expert in that site. We're going to talk about the checklist here in a little bit that kickstarts everybody's business. But there are training videos there. There's tools. The Map to Pro 3 we just showed you is there. The Map to Pro 5 is there. Our events and where we're going to be is there. How to register for our events are there. The weekly trainings that we do every week for our team are there. How to get paid in the compensation plan is there. It goes on and on and on and on. And so go know that website in and out, and it changes. And oh, by the way, we have a mirror image of it in Spanish. It's called Equipo True Blue, EQUIPO, right? Trueblue.org. And we've got stuff for Chinese, Spanish. It's a big organization, guys. This isn't just like a United States thing. This thing is a global thing. Little secret. The world wants more time and they want to be healthy. Go figure, not just us. And we're taking this to the world. So let's talk about the checklist a little bit. That's at Team True Blue. It's under the Get Started tab. It's the very first thing. Why should a new distributor or even an old distributor that's never filled out the checklist, why do they need to fill out the checklist?
Well, I think because it helps just go through the basics with you. I know for me, when I got involved with LifeVantage, I just wanted as much information as I could get my hands on, but at the same time, you can only consume so much. Your brain can't process everything. So I just need to know what I need to do now. Just tell me what to do now. And the beautiful thing about the checklist is it covers the basics. One of the basics is scheduling your launch of your business, right? So you have your brand new distributor go print the checklist, fill it out, and then you schedule a time to go over it with them. Over the phone, you don't even have to be in person. And you go over it with them, and you're able to go through and figure out their reasons for doing this business. Setting expectation as to what it's going to require in order to get what they want out of this business. Setting up the time for the call, going through a few of the steps to say, okay, your whatever it's going to be, whether it's a Zoom or an in-home meeting or
I like the Zoom. We've heard some people, they call it their virtual latte. So they'll fill out the checklist and then they're told.
Well, you're talking about going over the actual checklist. Yeah. Agreed, because of the video piece to it. But what I'm talking about is scheduling. On the checklist, it says to schedule your launch event.
Okay. Yeah.
And so for your launch event, whether it is a Zoom or an in-home meeting or whatever it is, there's so many methods, a call, launch call.
Well, why would there be so many methods?
Because we've got all different group of people. Some people love the fact that they don't ever have to walk out of their house and they want to do everything through the computer. Some people love the interaction of talking to people. They don't ever leave the house, so they like to have. So we meet the needs of the masses, and so there is no one way to do this. We do all the ways. We want to make sure we're getting to all of our contacts, and so you use these different methods in order to go about doing it. But the important thing is that your brand new person schedules it, and with it being on the checklist, and it's like, okay, here's what we do next. You see on the checklist, says schedule what day do you want to do yours? Because don't you find that a brand new person, they're like ready to do this. Like, I want to do this. Okay, let's make some calls. Let's get this in front of. Well, today's not good. Tomorrow's not good. Next week's not good. And you guys, you know that the longer you delay a brand new distributor getting an enrollment and having some success and picking up the phone for the first time, the greater the chances of it never happening. What's the saying you like to say?
It's the law of diminishing intent. The longer you take to do something, the better chance it's never going to happen.
Exactly.
And that's why there's a launch date. And listen, don't like get this preconceived idea that you're going to have 100 people at your house and it's this big, gala. Come on now, listen, let's keep it simple. Get one guest to your house. Like, just get your mom to the house, get your sister to the house. That's a launch event. I mean, get someone that has a heartbeat to your home, or get someone that has a heartbeat on the phone or on a Zoom or on a Facebook Live, and that's a launch. Listen, guys, you signed up as a distributor to get more time and get more money, or one of the two. So let's just be real, okay? Let's keep it simple. We're going to have to tell some people about this. And we just say, let's pick a date. Let's pick a date, because when you pick a date, now the support team can go, okay, Lynette's picked, February 3rd. Well, me as support needs to go, okay, I need to be available February 3rd. At what time, Lynette? When are you going to do this? At 7 p.m.? Okay, I know in my schedule now, because I enrolled Lynette, I'm responsible. I got to clear some time, February 3rd, 7 p.m., to do some third-party validation, or to do the Zoom call or the launch call or not. So that's on the checklist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's the significance of it being there, is it's just letting your new distributor know this is what you do next. And honestly, that's all they need. They just need to know what to do next. Now, if they choose not to do it, then they know. It's their choice, right? So that's the significance of having it. Make sure that you're going over it with your new distributor. Don't just send them to fill it out and then let them be on their way. Otherwise, I mean, it's a bit of an accountability piece, really, is part of what it is as well. So, yeah. It
allows you to know, too, a little bit of the mindset of who you're working with, because if they refuse to set the checklist, as Lynette was, you need to stop, okay, and sit back and go, okay. Like, if you're feeling like they're like, well, I'm busy next week and I can't. If they do that, you need to go back up the checklist, because the number one thing on the checklist, guys, there's a lot of thought into this checklist. The very first thing on the checklist is, why did you join LifeVantage? Like, what do you want to get out of LifeVantage, right? Give us 3 reasons why you joined LifeVantage. And so if they don't want to set the date, then you just got to go back to the why and say, okay, if we don't set a date and we don't tell anybody about this, are we going to be able to make $1,000 a month? Nope. Are we going to be able to retire one of our, I'll be able to come home and be with the kids. Like, I'm tired of working and I want to be with the kids. Are you going to be able to come home and be with the kids if you don't set a date? See, that's why that checklist is the way it is. If you start getting resistance, then you go back to step 1. Why'd you do it? Right? Why'd you do this? Unless the reason for doing this is, I just want to be healthy and, I want to lose some weight. That's great. But you didn't have to sign up as a distributor to do that. So then you have to ask them, well, wait, you could have done that as a customer. So if they're like, well, I just want to help people. Okay, well, then let's pick a date to help some people. That's all. Let's not call it a launch event. Let's just call it the date to help some people. When's that date going to be? When are we going to start helping some people? Let's just pick that date and put it on the calendar, right? So download that checklist, print it out, and then what I was jumping in on is, once you get the checklist finished, schedule a time with your support team to go over it. And it's better if you get more than one. Use a Zoom, use a Facebook Messenger video feature, get 3 or 4 or 5 people on there, and let's go through that checklist if you can with the support team, at least with the person that signed you up. Some teams call it their virtual latte, so that you get your coffee, I'll get my coffee, and let's chat. Some people call it their meeting to develop their daily methods of operation. right? Their DMO. Call it whatever you want. Just let's get it done, right? And get going on that checklist. But look all over teamtrueblue.org. There's so much stuff there. Guys, I just want you to, as we wrap this thing up today, I want you to understand just how excited we are for you, but also kind of picking at the right words to say here, just the magnitude of this opportunity for some of you. I know some of you are brand new and you're just kind of getting your feet wet, but if you're like Lynette and I, we had never done this before, and real early on, we started to realize this was different. This is special. And so I'm going to challenge you guys a little bit. If you see something special here, if you think this product's special, and you think that this company is going somewhere and you want to take advantage of it, it goes hand in hand with what we were just talking about. And I'm going to challenge you guys to put some meetings together. I'm going to challenge you to have a meeting in your home or somewhere, but have a meeting. And what I want pictures. Inside of our Team True Blue, we have a Facebook group. You'll find out about that on the checklist. We have a Facebook group, and the challenge for you guys is to hold a team meeting. And I want you in the comments or in the post, just put my first home meeting or my first meeting. I want to see who you are. Okay. And we're going to do the best thing that we can to track this through the month of February.
I'd like for people to do it, even if it's not their first.
Sure.
I mean, because the reality is, I feel like in a lot of ways, some people have kind of gotten out of doing home meetings. Maybe they haven't done it in a year or 2 years. There's so much value in looking your friend in the eyes and letting them read your body language. Like, this is big. This is changing my life. This is where I'm going. You can't convey that through a phone. And so there's a lot of value in having it in your home. So if it's your first, great, post my first. If it's not your first, then just post my meeting, challenge accepted. I mean, I would love to see our group page blow up with that.
Yeah, I want to see that. And what we're going to do is, I don't know, we're going to randomly go through there, and I'll send some free product out. But you have to post your meeting. You have to host the meeting. You have to take pictures of the meeting. You have to post the meeting. And then somehow we'll fairly identify some people that we want to. Maybe it's a random drawing. We just put names in a hat. But we'll send some free stuff out to you guys. But more importantly, we're going to give you a ton of love inside of Team True Blue. And who knows what's going to come from that meeting. Maybe you'll find the next Stacey King. Maybe you'll find the next Holly. And you never know. You never know where these meetings are going to lead. But we hope you've enjoyed this workshop today. I think there's been tons of value shared here today for you to build your business. And just know that 4 weeks from today, the first Saturday in March, there will be another workshop just like this, where there'll be an opportunity shared. And you'll probably see some different faces, because Lynette and I are heading off to Spain in a few weeks to launch the country and go help people on the other side of the world have the same things that we've had. And we're excited about that. In fact, we may send some videos in for the next workshop from Spain. When I can promise you, there's a lot of meetings set up in Spain. The meetings are there. The people are excited. And so anyway, go get a bunch of people in front of this. Hopefully you're getting groups of people together. High five. I want to see those pictures too on Team True Blue of your workshop, because if you're hosting a workshop and bringing people into your home, that deserves some recognition and applause, because that is, to me, the best way you can take advantage of these workshops. Have some food, have some fun, because if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right, guys. We like to have fun here at Team True Blue. So that's a wrap for our February virtual workshop. I hope you enjoyed it. And maybe some of you will see Elite Academy, South Carolina. Here we come. See you guys. Bye-bye.